Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Hope everybody's doing fine. Listen, last night, if you caught my live last night, I was going over DDG's motion, his restraining order to prevent Halle from traveling outside of the country. He claimed that Halle was unstable and was not fit, and he feared for his baby's life. So, got word today. Someone in my live last night said that the judge had denied him, but I didn't see anything in the print media to go back over that. And I didn't want to report that and then come back and have to censor myself or come back and have to apologize for having the wrong take. So, let's go into this. Ha cha cha. Ha cha cha. Here we go. Let's do this one. I like that better. All right. So this has been reported by TMZ, and I went to a couple of other outlets, and they are using TMZ as their source. So yesterday, I reported that DDG had filed a restraining order to prevent Halle from leaving the country, which is going to be this weekend. She's apparently going to be gone for 2 months because she is filming a new film. And in her initial report, her restraining order, which was granted back on the 13th or the 15th of May, she stated that she was going out of town this much to do the work, and she stated that she was going to go. Plus, she was going to have a family member plus a nanny go with her to help take care of Halo. So we saw also we saw that that restraining order allowed for her to travel. However, the I guess the physical part of it that DDG had to stay away or do all of these different things, uh, it expired actually yesterday. I don't know if she re-upped it. I know she went back and she pulled a claim, so she may have re-upped it. So, but anyway, let's read to see what the additional information is. Now, I'm coming in blind, meaning that I have not read the article. I just see where it says judge clears her to travel. All right, so they put it in an update. It says DDG's temporary restraining order request against Halle Bailey has been denied. Halle is free to leave the country with their child for business or personal reasons. So that's pretty much it. It says here, now this was 2:23 p.m. of yesterday. It says Halle Bailey has filed to deny DDG's request and instead grant her permission to take their son out of the country so she can work. Halle is also requesting orders to stop DDG and his family and friends to stop posting about their son. This litigation and Halle on all platforms. Halle also points out that DDG waited until today, June 4th, to file a request to block her from traveling and ask for new custody orders when he and his attorneys have ignored all of her efforts for him to have monitored visits with their son since the issuance of the TRO on 5/13/2025. So, hey, do I think the text messages are edited? Honestly, no. I don't think that they're edited. Now, okay, do I think that they're her texts? I do. I think he may have edited out his responses if there were any responses in between them. I don't think that they're edited. And I think that they're going to have to go to court to to have all of this laid out on the table and figured out. Because again, one of the things that I have seen, and good morning, Loyalty 55. One of the things that I have seen going across here is people play out their business on social media. And when you play your business out on social media, people then can pull up those uh, TikToks, those IG live streams, all of these things that you put out here on the thing. She's problematic because she has said over and over again that she's not the nice little girl, that the nice little Disney princess that everyone is portraying her to be. that she got a little ratchet in her. And she's also said that when she loves hard. And that uh once she's your girlfriend, you're she's the only girlfriend that you're gonna have. So I don't know. Again, they could be. I'm gonna say I don't know, but I'm leaning towards that they weren't. But they're still problematic, just as what she put in her TRO against him is just as problematic. I think as a community, we're going to have to just kind of weigh the evidence as it's presented and then make a decision regard that. Because I know a lot of times when you start taking sides, when you do that, there's a bias that comes, and then the bias comes so bad that even things that are staring you straight in the face that seem odd, you kind of uh, wash it away or act like it doesn't exist. I know there's a word for that. I can't. It escapes me right now, and I will blame it on the fact that I haven't had any coffee yet. But so I don't think that they have been altered. The only thing that I had questions about when we were reading the text last night was the fact that they were not in any chronological order, and they were edited to match the text that's in front of it. So in other words, if you had 2/13/2022 that were these strings of text up here, once you got to this last text, this text that may have been from 4/15/2025, it bookmarked or matched the text up there. So where you were thinking that you were looking at a series or a string of text messages that was just continual. So I would say I felt like that. I don't know if I can't say that she did or she didn't write those texts. Nope, he can't come near her in Halo. It's sad. They're Get it together, DDG and Haley. Get it together. Get it together. You better believe it. Haley has secured those text messages, and you didn't finish, Miss J. Hello, Miss J. Let me see. I'm happy he didn't get the outcome he wanted. I hated this for her in her career. Yes. Uh, and again, and this goes back, and I will say this and say this until I'm exhausted. You all have to be very careful about who you're going to share your legacy with. Okay. You can't sit back and try to trap him with the baby because you think that that's going to make him stay. It's not. And that's toxic. You can't sit here and have sex with her. And if it was agreed that you were going to wear the condom, and then somewhere in there you take it off because you're going to try to trap her with the baby because you don't want her to be with anybody but you want to be able to do what you want to do, but you don't want her. That's toxic. That's not good. Be very careful. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't care if you're 8 to 80, dumb, cripple, or crazy, if you're listening to my voice, you got to be very careful with your partners and who you decide to share your legacies with. If not, I know these young people are handsome and beautiful young people, and visually they may look good together, but you're learning very quickly that just because someone is visually appealing, you need much more than being visually appealing to have uh, you need to have much more than being visually appealing to make a relationship, to have somebody that you would share your legacy with. It's got to be more than looks. It's got to be more than what someone can buy you or what you can contribute. It's got to be more than those things. It's about your character. And if your character isn't aligned with the person that you're dating, and his character is not aligned with you, y'all are going to be toxic. Y'all are going to be toxic. I don't have any proof of this. This is me jaw jacking now. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. I'm just jaw jacking. But she probably saw all those women that he was around and thought, oh, he keeps a lot of women around him. He must be a girl's guy. And then as soon as she got with him, then he can't be around all of those women. He needs to just be with me. He probably looked at her. Oh wow, she is a commercially successful R&B artist. I am a hip hop artist. Maybe if we get together, we can, we can build something or do something. But those things didn't work out. And then you have a child that's involved. And so that means that every time there's going to be issues and problems with issues. Now, the main thing that I think with Halle doing her restraining order and DDG doing their restraining order, I think we kind of see the type of relationship that they have. And hopefully, if the judge is, if the judge does the right thing, that he is going to have them go through, first of all, because they're toxic, he's going to have them go through some kind of family counseling, parenting classes, all of these types of things that they need to go through. All right. He is going to set up that custody agreement, uh 2 days on, 2 days off. She has 2 days, he had 2 days, and they just switch back and forth from that. Do something like that. Again, make sure the judge knows who's each other's support system, because I've questioned when I read those text messages on DDG's side, and and particularly the text messages when I would assume that there may have been some postpartum issues going on. Where was her people? Where was her people? And I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean, I know she has a sister. I know Chloe's there. I know she has a couple of sisters, and they probably have their own lives and don't mishear me. But I know she got a mama. I know they talked about their godmother. Who was there to be able to assist her with all of this? Because again, these are things that as women, you really can't do alone. You really can't do alone. You have to have, especially when you've had a baby. Now I know Western society dictates, oh, you could do it by yourself, and you did. No, you can't. You need to have assistance. You need to have help, because baby sleep patterns are different. All of these different things. Her people were probably left in the dark about what she was going through, possibly, but they weren't left in the dark about the fact that she had a baby and she was going through postpartum. They probably didn't know the extent of her relationship with DDG, or her back and forth and all fussing and fighting and all this other stuff. They may have been in the dark about that. But it was very heartbreaking to read those texts that, I depend on you to come and help me. You need to help me. Anything. Now, was there any manipulation? I don't know. I'll let y'all figure that out. When I'm just reading those texts from face value, I'm like, where was her folks? Because that one rapid session that she was texting, and I think it was like two, three, I think it was like March, February or March of 2024. And there was a period where she was rapidly texting so bad and so quickly, and like in all caps, that the words didn't even come out right. You couldn't even see the words. You could just tell it was this right here. You were just tap, 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 tap. And I'm just like, wasn't there somebody there that could tell her, baby, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed? Helping her get on a schedule if she wants to be, somebody, the baby's gonna be all right at night. He's gonna be in here and I'll stay up. You'll stay up in the day, I'll stay up at night. And we'll get this, and we'll get this schedule going. We'll get everything going until you get right. There was just, and isn't it something that it doesn't matter if you have some money, that they that people still have the same problems as folks that are the upper class, the upper class, middle class, and lower class. If you don't have a support system, you're still in the same boat. That's true. That's true. But I don't need you to be on the internet. I'm gonna fight for my sister. Me and you will fight. I don't need that. I need for you to be with your sister in the middle of the night when she's having some issues. That's what I need. I don't need you to come on the internet talking about how you ride for your sister, but your sister is texting rapid pace uh in the middle of the night. Unapologetic and good morning, unapologetic simmer. I didn't say good morning to you, and let me go back and scroll up. Okay, yeah, I didn't say good morning. I said good morning to everybody else. I wonder if she put on a front for her family, or maybe they weren't actually there for her. Some people feel like you're on your own when you're having a baby. That might be, but I also had heard too that there was. Let me get back bigger. I had also heard, and I don't know how truthful of this is. I just read someplace that something about the girls are more close to their godmother than their parents. There was some issues with their parents. I don't know what it is, because that they were no longer, living around. They moved to Los Angeles. They don't live in Atlanta. I think their parents are still in Atlanta. There was some issues about their career and how they were moving and monies and stuff like that. Because remember, they started their career when they were underage, and the Coogan accounts, and isn't that Coogan accounts and all that other stuff. But I think that there was some issues going on in regards to that. And then their godmothers kind of stepped up and stepped in, and I think she's a manager and stuff like that. But even still, who else? Who else? Because I know they probably have worked together so long they wanted some kind of separation, and I get that. I was just curious to know what was going on. It's just heartbreaking. It was just heartbreaking to read those text messages. It was just heartbreaking to see all of that stuff go down. And then it was like, at some point, he never did answer the text or not. And like I said, that was heartbreaking in itself. But let me see, because I'm talking about them. I think I saved them. Let me see. Uh, maybe I didn't. Let me go back. I'm gonna pull it up, y'all. Give me one second. And shout out to Document Teams. That's where I got it. All right, let me get to. I know it starts on page 24. Here we go. Let me show you what I'm looking at, because all right. So I was looking at these strings of text. Now this is 322. So she wasn't pregnant then. And you see this is 322. And they're talking about someone named Donald. I don't know who Donald is. Uh So he made it. She was responding to a tweet, and she was like, "No to this tweet." He was like, "What's wrong with it?" And Halle says, "Donald, of all people, let's not laugh. Ha ha ha. It's not that deep. LOL. It is though. Donald is a racist man who doesn't care about us, and it must have been something with Donald Trump. Why would you leave? I'm done with threats. So there is something in between to go from Donald is a racist who doesn't care about us to why would you leave? I'm done with the threats. Where is that threat? And she says stop being this way. And then there's these looks maybe memes or emojis, and then she's asking him to answer the phone. I'm not playing, Daryl. And again, if she has her phone, they can just she can if she's got her phone, she can get those messages that she's done to him in his text thread. She can definitely get those put out so that she would have that, and they can juxtapose this to hers. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Make sure you hit that like button, support me. Yeah. Thank you so much, Unapologetic Summer. I appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're watching me on Twitter, hit that heart. If you're watching me on YouTube, hit that like button. And if you're watching me on Twitch, hit a bit. I think that works out good. Let me say, I wanted to get to the ones where she was in. Again, this is 822. So 820, because when did she have Halo? In 23? Yeah, so she wasn't pregnant here. I'm looking for. All right, see? You see right here, it's in 823:22. It says, I'm going to go home. And then it starts here at not 2/9/2023. It's like it seems like I'm going to go home. I just want to resolve it so I can get some sleep. Doesn't it seem like that text message and this text message uh they're coupled together? This was one of the things that I was looking at with those text messages. Good afternoon, streamer world. Who's winning so far? Well, so far, the judge denied DDG his request to have, not to let Haley travel with Halo. So she'll be leaving Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday, going to Italy to do her film. DDG, hey, Jay Palladium, have smarts, will listen. I love that. DDG has a very small chance of winning his case. The mother and child is the priority. Second, the judge will not take DDG as a credible caretaker, and Halle is the breadwinner. Interesting. 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 They both have, I mean, and here's the thing. They both have receipts on the internet that people are pulling up from them from IG lives that they've done, for him doing Twitch streams and all this other stuff. Because when he did that Twitch stream arguing with the AI and using the voice as Halle, I thought that was special, disarming. That was freaky. I'm gonna say the words I want to say. That was a little freaky to me. But she also has IG lives that she's done with her sister, talking about how she can, she's aggressive and she can, she'll get into your face and she's mouthy and she's all of these different things. So, we'll just continue. But again, here you see how they bookmark these text messages to make it seem like it's just one continuing thought process. I hope I'm saying that right. So it's like, here, I'm going to go home. Now this is from 8/23/2022 at 3:13 p.m. Then you come in, because if you watch this and read it, I'm going to go home. I just want to resolve it so I can get some sleep, please. You don't have to ever talk to me. Now these are two different time frames. Two different time frames, but it is suspicious that the same types of stuff is still going on in two different time frames. You have something going on here at 8:23, and then you have something going on here down here at 2/9/23, and it's bookmarked so you think it's one continuous thread. And I got caught up with that last night, that I was like, wait a minute, that's not even matching. And so here, so she's here proclaiming that she wants to prune herself from the timeline, and she's done that in text up in 2022. the same. And I think that had to do with him taking somebody to a movie or taking somebody to something. I can't believe. And she talks about him being her only friend. And this is 223. Let me make sure. So this is 6/5/23. So this is when she would be pregnant at this point. She said she's tired, she's in pain. She says she doesn't want to do this anymore every day. You lie on me to your mama. Then he says, well, that's why I said we need to take time apart. And it's just interesting that there is just so many texts before there's a response. There's so many texts before there's a response. And everyone's like, well, she's a little thing, but this is supposed to be during the time that she's pregnant. This is he put in his in his TRO that she was very unstable and all this other stuff. So she's like this, and you believe that she was like this during this time. Uh there would have been some contact. It shouldn't have been, you see, all of these texts. And this is just in my opinion. And then he says, now, why do you want me to sit on the phone and listen to me yell all day? And again, you're talking about two people, in my opinion, and you know how what opinions are. But I was trying to get to those text messages where they were just like all caps. I think, yeah, this is it. They're all caps. She's typing so fast, the words are not even doing right. It's just all of this. I found out you slept with Lala in Mexico, and I found out who Lala was. And this is yeah. Anyway, I just didn't like to see all of this. And what I was saying, when all of this was happening, and this is 11 o'clock at night, and there was nobody sitting with her, there was nobody in her family. There was just nobody there. That bothers me, y'all. That bothers me. But anyhow, y'all, again, I just wanted to come. Lies, the judge did not clear her. Well, we'll go back because, again, I got my information from TMZ, and TMZ was the first to report it. And I'll show you what I read. And good afternoon, coffee room. But this is what I read. And this they started this yesterday, and they updated it today at 8:05 a.m. And here's the update. It's just basically one little line. At 6:42 a.m. Pacific time, DDG's temporary restraining order request against Halle Bailey has been denied. Halle is free to leave the country with their child for business or personal reasons. And I'm quite sure they are going to have to go to court at some time. That they're going to have to go to court at some time to kind of finalize all of this out. But as of today, as of yesterday, the judge just cleared her to be able to go work in Italy for a couple of months. And thank you so much, Apologetic Simmer, for the super chat. You said, I don't believe that he fears for the safety of their son. He may fool his fans, but he's not fooling me. A concerned parent would have taken action a long time ago. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Good afternoon. Judge did not clear her. The decision is Friday. She is not cleared to travel. Do you have tell me where you get this information so I can look at it. Do you have a Where did you get the clarifying rumor? Because I'm like I said, I looked at it from TMZ, and when I typed in, let's do this again. So I did a Google News search, and this was they've got the Independent saying 47 minutes ago that she was denied. So let's read what Forbes says. DDG asked us, it's 14 hours, 14 hours. He files the stop. Vibe says it was denied. Hot 97 said it was denied. And a lot of these are for 20 hours ago. Taking their son overseas. So let's go to the first one that I saw that was 48 minutes ago and see who they reference. All right, they're saying YouTubers DDG requests for a domestic violence restraining order against his former apartment, the Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey, has been denied. The 27-year-old student had claimed in court documents filed yesterday that the 25-year-old actor presented a risk to their 17-month-old son, Halo, and sought to prevent her from taking the child out of the United States. Bailey responded by filing to deny DDG's request and asked the court to grant her permission to take their son out of the country so she can work. She also filed an order requesting DDG, whose real name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., and his family and friends to stop posting about their son. This litigation, about their son, this litigation, and Bailey on all platforms. Reports that the TMZ reports that the court sided with Bailey, who is now free to travel. So they are referring to TMZ in regards to all of this. And that was who? The Independent. Hold on. Well, Forbes doesn't up it hasn't updated since their information from yesterday, but I will show you what I'm looking at. By Connor Murray, he's talking about the custody. He's not saying that anything has been updated. All right, I'll let y'all look at that. And what I'm doing is just looking for people who have posted within the last today, or from this morning to today. It looks like TMZ is the only outlet reporting it. It looks like it's the only outlet that's reporting it. All right, and so I'll pull TMZ back up. And like I said, it's only this because this was the article that they posted yesterday. Hold up, y'all. I know you're not seeing nothing I'm posting. This is the article that they posted yesterday. And again, as I go down, the update they have is 6/5, which is today at 6:42 a.m. Is that DDG's temporary restraining order request against Halle Bailey has been denied. Halle is free to leave the country with their child for business or personal reasons. And the last update they had was at 2:23 p.m., which was yesterday, because I read this on my live yesterday. And it says that Halle Bailey has filed to deny DDG's request and instead grant her permission to take their son out of the country so she can work. She's also requesting orders to stop DDG and his family and friends to stop posting about their son. This litigation and Halle on all platforms. So, which is interesting. Now, I will tell you the one thing that's interesting to me, because they had these signed affidavits. Thank you. Thank you, Candy. Thank you. He abused this girl in every abuse you can think of. Wow. TMZ is pretty rough. Yeah, they just wouldn't post nothing that, or they would have retracted real quickly, because they would have had enough time to retract it. He posted a short with Halo yesterday. It might have been an older video. Oh, okay. It's on Shade Room on site. People Magazine has posted it as well. Okay. So that's what I see. Now, one of the things I wanted to go back over, besides the text messages that are glaring to me, but and let me share this tab. This is what was glaring. What do y'all think about all these AirTags? Because on my live last night, folks were saying, well, they didn't have a problem with the AirTag and the baby, the baby, not the baby care, but the baby bag, excuse me. But they were talking about all these tags that were found in the car, right? And then as we were reading Tanya Granberry's declaration, we were talking about all of these AirTags, right? And she talked about it. They talked about when they first discovered the first AirTag, it was in the Maybach. And then they discovered the second one that was in the Escalade. And then they found one that was in the Escalade again in a vitamin bottle. They talked about a fourth AirTag, and they took a picture of the AirTag, because this one ones that was found in the diaper bag. And a lot of moms that were on my live last night, they said that they didn't have an issue with that AirTag in the diaper bag. But then as we were reading along, number 10 is what got me. On January 25th, George and I moved into Daryl's home. While helping him clean and organize the house, I discovered a box of unused Apple AirTags in a drawer in Daryl's bedroom. These had been left behind by the petitioner, who had lived in the home on and off both before and during her pregnancy. She moved out shortly before the baby was born in December 2023. The box of AirTags remain in Daryl's possession. And I read that, and I had two-minded. I was two-minded. I was like, oh, okay. So they were living together. She was there. They had the box of AirTags. But if she was who you all say she was, that wouldn't have been something that she would have forgotten. Them AirTags would have been the first thing that she would have pulled out. That's what I believe. And then double-minded, did he put the AirTags in his own car and said that they were from her? Because I was still trying to figure out what the purpose of an AirTag is if anybody with the phone that's near it, it can pick up. Well, that was my question, because I was like, well, that defeats the purpose of an AirTag. Because why would I need the AirTag to ping your phone? Now, let me ask this question, because you all are more technically savvy than I am. So let's say that for whatever reason, I use my phone, and you and I link up phones to where I can check your location. Would me being able to check your location, would there be a bounce back that then you can check my location and anything that I have on my phone, like my AirTags and my iPod, and oh, you can find those locations of those things just like I can do. Once you find the physical AirTag, okay, hey, okay, let me get out there. Hey, Peanut, good afternoon. She was good, didn't trust him. Okay. They call me lying too. Okay. Good afternoon, Sugar Bush. I don't believe them about the AirTags. He slept in that same room and never saw them until she moved out. All right. Once you find the physical AirTag, you can pair it to your phone. So, because in the affidavit, the stepfather says, or the mama's boyfriend, however you want to call him, he says that when he got into the Cadillac Escalade, or when he got into the Maybach, he said that his phone started pinging, that there was an AirTag in the car. Are you saying that that's when it would happen, or you have to be, so you have to be physically close to it for it to ping, or you want to? Halle said the AirTags were used mutual between she and DDG in her reply to his claims. We need that document. But y'all tell me about these AirTags, because y'all tell me about these AirTags. Because you can get pinged for an unrecognized. Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, okay, now I'm understanding. Because I was like, what's the purpose of them? Okay, because I was like, if so they're not as stealthy as I'm thinking in my mind they are. So once you get close to an AirTag, it'll ping your phone that you're close to an AirTag for an unrecognized AirTag. Okay. 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 Yes, they found let me see. There was an exhibit. Let me go down. Here it is. This was the AirTag that they found in the baby bag that belonged to the, I guess was for the cat. But this was up on, they said it was up under the cardboard lining that's at the bottom of the baby bag. And they said that they found this AirTag in that section right there. This was the AirTag that they found. And they went to Amazon, and it's for the pets. So she took the AirTag off the pet to put in the baby bag. Well, probably so, because if we believe that those AirTags in the drawer were hers, that she forgot that she had the AirTags. So anyway, that was just it. That was interesting to me. That was interesting to me when I read that. I can say that them talking about her fighting at the movie theater, I'm interested to see that. Say, look at baby Halo. Baby Halo always he looks shell shocked. Every time I see that baby, he looks shell shocked. Oh my goodness. All right, people. Let me see. They're not telling the truth about who found the AirTags. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I came on to the report from my last night's live that the judge has denied. And once if we get that paperwork, I'll definitely come back on, or I'll post it on my community post, or do a really quick short to let you know that I've seen it, and I'll be in the background of it. But currently it's been denied. And so as this case goes, because I don't really like to do these cases, but I opened up my own can of worms by reading hers. So I figured I needed to be as balanced as I can and read his. So we'll see what happens. She's going to Italy Saturday for a couple of months. So we're going to see what DDG is going to do. Is he going to go visit her in Italy or anything like that? Just kidding. I don't believe he shouldn't do that. Thank you so much, Unapologetic Simmer, for your 1999 super chat. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you supporting the channel, and I do appreciate you all. I do appreciate all of you for listening to me, y'all. We do this every week. Uh-oh, I'm missing somebody. You know, at this point, everybody wants you to boycott everything. You all have to use y'all's discretion. I will tell you that. Use y'all's discretion. I use my discretion. There are places that I just don't go to because, and it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in politics or anything right now. I just use my discretion. It's like I'm not going to further use your stuff. Now, if it's something that I absolutely positively need for me or my nephew or my family, and it's at that particular place and it's not anywhere else, yes, I will go and get that stuff because it's something that I need. But if it's something general that I don't need, I don't go to those. I don't go to those different places because, you know, it gets to be too much. Yet there's no video of that theater fight, and there's just no way in the world. And this was supposed to be in the middle of her their press run for the Little Mermaid. So if she was in the middle of something and she came in a movie theater and she was swinging, I would love to see that, and I would love to know who this person is that she was swinging on. That's just my nosiness. Is it this Lala gal? Because this Lala gal was in Mexico with him, and okay. The judge hasn't substantively looked at arguments for the restraining order. She specified in the court order no reciprocal stay away because that will be addressed at future hearings before her in family court if the case moves. All right. DDG always has a camera. I doubt if this really occurred. I wasn't even thinking about DDG in his camera. And if he was going to the movies with somebody and it wasn't somebody that he wanted Halle to know he was going to the movies with, I doubt that he would be filming. I just really don't think that he would be filming. All right. All right. We'll just leave off with what Kat says and we'll just go from there. Y'all. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have to go look at what you posted. Well, let me look at it now, child. Don't get me to line. I ain't got to lie. Let's go and shout out to Kat Not Williams. See what she's posted. Okay. Let me share one of my screen. Kat, I'm gonna share your stuff on screen. All right. The continuance was granted. The request for emergency order prohibiting of travel was denied. Let's see what that says. Appearance, okay. Nature of proceeding. Let me see what this is. I'm just going to read what I see. The following parties are present for the aforementioned proceeding. No appearance. The matter is not called for hearing. The court receives respondents' ex parte application in chambers. After review and consideration of the moving papers in chambers, the court rules as follows. The court denies the ex parte application. Respondent's ex parte request for continuance is denied as it does not meet the requirements of posing a matter of imminent concern and is moot given the continuance granted during the June 4th, 2025 restraining order hearing case. Respondent's ex parte request for an order prohibiting petitioner from traveling outside the United States with the party's minor child is denied as the court finds insufficient evidence of imminent emotional and psychological risk to the minor child during petitioner's business trip to Italy, particularly considering the court's ruling on respondents' competing DV restraining order request case, and they give the case number, which included which includes limited child abduction orders. Further evidence is required at a noticed hearing for the court to issue more restrictive orders, as the court has granted sole legal and physical custody to petitioner temporarily until the next court hearing based on evidence provided in petitioner's DV restraining order request. A copy of this minute order is emailed to the moving party at the email addresses provided with the pleadings on this date. No further notice is required. All right, so that sounds like pretty much the same thing. We'll read that. Shout out to Kat, keeping us informed. And if you want to follow her, that's Kat Not Williams. Kat Not Williams, there she is. Here she is. She keeps up with all of the stuff. She's my legal gal. So, here we have it. Y'all are moving fast. Let me get you. Imminent equals recent. He was talking about things that took place over a year ago. Within that time, Halle could have gotten psych help, etc. Party says, if the parties agree to take this in front of a private judge, we won't see future filings. Probably good for them, but now I'm nosy. Me too. They put it out there for me to see, and I want to see it. Good morning, good afternoon, Miss Spicer. How are you? Shout out to you. Yes, thank you so much, Kat, for giving us that updated information. I really do appreciate it because, like I said, we just read that one line from TMZ. And let me go back up here because I need to, you gave a source for me. All right, let me highlight that. All right. All right, all right, all right. Do you all have any more comments or anything? And again, follow Kat. Kat does a lot of legal stuff as well. She was very big on that YSL trial, which was literally too much for me. And I think we followed the Karen Reed trial. I didn't follow her Karen Reed's retrial because I think it's going to be a mistrial again. They're going to be trialing that into in perpetuity. And I've never seen a trial where you thought second time go around, everybody knows what the other person's handle is, but it seems like everybody is still it's all this surprise stuff that still is coming out on that case. Let's see. They'll probably figure out. They're going to have to. They're going to absolutely have to figure this out because now I hope there's a level of a slight level of embarrassment and there may be a possible hiccup in their careers and maybe they're going to put, like Kat said, let this be private and just be done. I'm doing well as well. This and sometimes there is no sense like bought sense. Sometimes you got to go through stuff like this to wake up, to mature, to realize that it's about Halo and keep it moving. So hopefully she'll she's realizing that her and DDG are not a couple that need to be together, but they're going to have to be on a certain accord, one accord when it comes to yeah, they're gonna have to be one accord when it comes to Halo because that's the most important thing here. So she's gonna have to figure out what she needs to do in order for her to have a successful relationship, and he's gonna have to figure that out as well. But they can't figure it out together with each other. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. I will be doing my recap of the Diddy trial today about 4 p.m. because I had to do this stream, and I'm gonna do that stream about 4 p.m. So y'all come and join me at that time. And as always, people, bye bye.